Welcome back to the Mid-Year Mitch YouTube channel. In today's episode, we're finishing up the birdcage on my 67 Corvette Overkill. I have to fix some rust, make some patch panels, install the drip rails and gutters. We're going to paint the cage, so be sure to stick around. In the last video you saw, I put the rockers together and I put a new windshield frame in the car. I have the birdcage back in one piece, but now I have to go back and fix some of the rust. So this is the worst of the rust right here. Not so much here, but somewhere in here. It's bad. So I need to first remove these screws to get this pinch weld cap off, and I'm pretty sure this thing will just fall off. And it's all rotten in here. So I'm gonna have to make a template, make a big patch piece, probably from about up here, the whole way down. And I'll probably make it out of one piece. I don't necessarily need this step here. I'll figure out how to make that one. I need to make a little filler piece here to go from this piece I just welded on all the way up into here. I'll just make it out of one piece and butt weld it up here. There's a couple little pinholes here, and then that pillar needs about the same type of patch right here. It's just where the metal was lapped is where it really started to rot. So I got to get those pieces cut out, make some templates, and then we get this thing welded together. I cut out some templates here to make some patch panels to patch this pillar, which this piece came from the Misfit. I only was able to find in my archives this piece, which I used to make the Misfit, so that's pretty fitting. We're getting back to the old days. So I have 3 pieces cut out here that fit with the car pretty well. I had to trim a good bit off of here to meet the flange I have on the car. And now I'm just gonna tack all 3 of these together and use this piece from the old Misfit. And I will use that to kind of jig these up so I can get them close to where they're supposed to go. Then I'll get them in the car, manipulate it if I have to. Then if I'm happy with the way that fits, I'll flip it upside down and just fill this whole inside with weld. I'll do the same thing to the underside of this. Grind these, they'll be nice and smooth. Then we can get those welded in. On the car, I removed all the rest, shot some primer in here, and I bent this little flange up, and that fits in here nice. So I just need to get this area figured out, drill some holes in that piece, and I'll weld it to the pillar. So now we'll actually have something to attach the B pillar to the upper half. And then I'll just have to go through, remove this rivet, and I'll rivet that piece in so that way the fiberglass is tied in. And then I'll just have to weld the whole way around here, plug weld where needed. And then this piece of fiberglass can go back on once the gutter and drip rail are on. This will go on and you'll never know I was in here. I welded all the pieces of this patch together and I'm really happy with the way it looks. I spent a little bit of time trimming it up to make the gaps nice, and this thing should weld in pretty nice. It needs tweaked around just a little bit, but now I need to drill some holes in it so I can plug weld it to the pillar. So I don't know, 3-5 holes. I'll drill in here, weld this thing in. We can start welding both these patches in, keep them cool with air so we don't get the fiberglass hot. I have the passenger side pillar all welded in, and that turned out perfect. It welded in real nice. There was all good solid metal in here, so that turned out nice. I just need to grind all these welds down, blend in some of these edges, and then we can start mocking up the fiberglass and the gutter. I installed both the windshield patches on the driver and passenger side. I just need to do some cleanup here, grind a lot of welds down, but the front of the car is done. So I have the car pretty much prepared for the gutters and drip rails. I went and cleaned all the rust off of both sides and paint, and then I've been massaging this edge of the front windshield pillar to get this gutter to come forward just a little bit more. I'm pretty happy with the way it is. Once I am happy with the gaps, I'm gonna drill some holes and Cleco it in place so that way it doesn't move anymore on me. And then I can start working on getting this guy to fit. Pretty much every one of these that I've done, I've had to cut a little bit off the end. I think they just make them just a little bit long. I have the drip rails mocked up on both the passenger and the driver side. I'm happy with the fit. I had to do a little bit of finagling to get the gap uniform the whole way around, but I'm happy with both the passenger and the driver side. The way these work is they're normally pretty tight in the front, and the gap between the top and the back are fairly uniform, but there's some wiggle room in there, so I got those to fit nicely. So I'm really happy with the way this cage turned out. I ground all the welds down, scuffed everything, primed it and painted it so I can protect the rest of the cage. And I'm really proud of this repair. It turned out really nice. There's nice solid metal in here now. They'll just need a little bit of finessing just to get it to look right. And I ground down the gutters, make those look real nice. You can see everything turned out real nice and solid. This is a really nice cage now. The driver's side also turned out real nice. Again, scuffed everything so that way when I put the rocker on here that nothing will interfere. And this repair turned out nice as well. So removed all the rust from this thing. So now it's real nice and solid. So that's gonna wrap up the birdcage portion of this program, which is kind of record time for my channel. So this car came together real nice. In the next video, you're gonna see me jump into floor work. I need to get the floor back in here. I need to splice the two sections together because we have a hole to fill, get the firewall back in this thing and start blending everything together, making everything nice and strong. And then at that point, the firewall back will be done and it'll be ready for my chassis to show up in a couple weeks. But that's gonna do it for this video. If you enjoyed, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. That's gonna do it for the birdcage portion of this series. Now we're jumping onto fiberglass work in the following video. So I'm gonna fix the floor, firewall, and I've done some of that already. So I'm about a week ahead of schedule now. So you're gonna have to wait till next week to see that video, but I got a lot of work to do, and I'll catch you guys later.